Tonight on News 8, DPD under fire for an arrest that almost cost a man's life.
And a young girl unknowingly connects with an online predator through a child's game.
Scary because, he's an adult and I'm a kid. I don't know who he really is in real life because I haven't met him yet.
Tonight, what parents need to know to protect their kids from an online attacker.
And same-sex couples rejoice after the Supreme Court's historic ruling. We'll have a closer look at the state's divided reaction.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 Now.
Good evening, I'm Trevor Caddy.
And I'm Vanessa Prado. Thank you for joining us tonight on News 8. Developing tonight, a man sues DPD after he claims he was wrongfully arrested. Michael Ryan was aimlessly wandering down the road when he was approached by police. What assumed to be an impaired state of mind due to drug or alcohol use turned out to be a life-threatening medical issue. Darren Mullen talked to him tonight. He joins us now. Darren, this man's life has drastically changed since his arrest.
That's right, Vanessa. He's lost job offers, and stories of drunk driving are the first things to pop up on a Google search. But Michael Ryan says it was a lapse in health, not judgment, that cost him his reputation. I spoke to him and his attorney earlier today.
Michael Ryan was supposed to be taking his daughter to swim lessons.
A Dallas father is accused of abandoning his baby after crashing into 4 parked cars.
I was in the hospital bed and you look up and drunken dad abandons daughter. I mean, it crushed me.
Ryan was arrested for DWI and child abandonment after suffering what he says was a grand mal seizure.
The accident happened here in the 6100 block of Goliad Avenue. Ryan's car sideswiped 4 vehicles on the side of the road before blowing out his right front tire. He then drove another half-mile before leaving his vehicle behind. Police found him a few blocks away with no recollection of the crash or his daughter.
And the next thing, the cops were in my face, being very aggressive, accusing me of being intoxicated.
Ryan had a prior DWI conviction in 2010 and says officers were convinced he was impaired before he was even breathalyzed. All tests found no drugs or alcohol in his system. Still, officers repeatedly denied Ryan's requests for medical attention.
He had significant injuries from the crash. And if he had had an aneurysm or some type of blood clot or anything else, he could have been dead.
The felony charges were eventually dropped. Ryan is now suing DPD.
Please fix your system. Please fix your intake and your arresting protocol. If somebody asks you for medical attention, please give it to them, because if you don't, then something worse might happen.
DPD declined to comment.
Ryan said he's had 2 more grand mal seizures since the accident and has been diagnosed with epilepsy. Live in the studio, Darren Mullen, Channel 8 News.
A day after the Supreme Court's historic ruling on same-sex marriage, couples are pouring into Dallas County to say I do. Not every county in Texas is offering same-sex marriage licenses. Clerks say they don't yet have the proper forms. But couples getting married in Dallas tell us that it's about more than a milestone in their personal relationships.
I'm in my mid-60s, and I did not think I would live to see it happen. I remember the days when things were very, very different.
Along with Dallas County, Tarrant, Collin, and Denton counties are offering same-sex marriage licenses. Hood, Parker, and Wise counties say they're waiting for guidance from the Texas Attorney General.
DISD board members will meet tonight in response to the resignation of Superintendent Mike Miles. This week, Miles announced he will be leaving the school district, saying he needs to be closer to his family in Colorado. His resignation comes during a time of criticism against the board's financial mismanagement. Details, including Miles' severance pay and who will be named the official interim leader, will be worked out during tonight's meeting.
Last week's mass shooting of an historical black church in Charleston, South Carolina, sparked a debate about the removal of all Confederate flag symbols and products. Some see the Confederate flag as a piece of history, but others see it as a symbol of racism. Tristan Hardy spoke with one local flag store owner about her decision to continue selling the Confederate flag for historical purposes.
Since the Charleston shooting occurred, the Confederate flag has been the topic these days. Should it be taken down or should it still fly? eBay, Amazon, Walmart, and Sears have made the decision not to sell the Confederate flag anymore. However, a local flag store has made a different choice. Denise Lucas is the owner of the J. Hugh Company, the flag store. Her family-owned store is the oldest flag store in Texas. She has a full inventory of flags in different cultures.
Historical flags is what we carry.
The flag that is seen every day is the Naval Battle Flag.
This is a flag that flies over South Carolina.
Lucas says her store carries the Confederate flags because they're historical.
For me, they represent history.
She understands how people may feel about the flag.
They're offensive because they were oppressed by them, or someone now in modern times has taken them and used it as a way to offend someone.
Lucas says people need to learn about the flag,
so it doesn't have power over you.
Lucas doesn't sell the Confederate flag a lot. She's only sold 2 in the past 5 years.
Because we just don't sell that many of them.
Lucas points out that the Confederate flag isn't the only one that offends people.
That might be offensive to someone, but it's still part of the history of the world.
She doesn't plan on not carrying the flags. Just because she carries them doesn't mean they'll sell.
If we quit selling these historical flags, what will we quit selling next?
Lucas carries her flags for historical purposes only.
They're historical flags that need to be used in a historical sense.
But wants to clarify and educate those who don't have much knowledge of it.
I don't get to be the judge to say, let's erase these 5 years from history. I don't get to do that. And if you do that, then you empower these flags to come back at some other day and hurt someone.
Now, we all know that social media is the place where people go to express themselves about the Confederate flag controversy. But check this out. One hashtag that has gone viral that stands out is the No Flagging Challenge. It encourages people to rip down Confederate flags where they see them. Now, Ashley Mitchell said, the No Flagging Challenge is dumb. I don't agree with that. But who am I, what a person can say, cannot do on their own property? Please grow up. Logan Opperman said, it's pretty bold to film yourself committing a crime. For the No Flagging Challenge, you go to jail for theft, you know. And then Alex Hundred, he plainly said, I support the No Flagging Challenge. Hashtag smash white supremacy. Now, while all this is going on, Nikki Haley, the governor of South Carolina, is in the works of taking down the Confederate flag for good. Tristan Hardy, Channel 8 News.
Dallas PD is ramping up security after a gunman opened fire and planted pipe bombs in the parking lot at DPD headquarters last week. Mayor Rawlings says a new safety plan is underway at headquarters and at the patrol divisions. Tighter security is, of course, top priority. A metal detector has already been installed at the headquarters entrance. The city hopes to keep the department citizen-friendly while actively making it a safer place to work.
A man curious to find out what was causing the commotion on his front lawn soon found himself handcuffed, being forced to the ground by police officers. Footage of Ronald Warnell's arrest was captured by an Orange County police body cam and has gone viral since its release. In the video, you can hear the officer claim Warnell punched him, though the visible footage captured a different situation, proving Warnell did not assault the officer.
And when you have individuals like that, for some reason, they just forget that the cameras are even in existence because, you know, they just can't control themselves.
Orange PD told Warnell that the video evidence of the arrest was his best defense against officers involved. More than 70,000 rape kits have gone untested nationwide. In October, the city of Dallas granted funds to test over 4,000 kits at DBT, some dating back as far back as 30 years.
And with no statute of limitation on rape cases, every kit is evidence. I spoke with Dallas officials and rape survivors who explained why it's so important to test all the kits.
When I seen it on the news, I knew I was next.
Adrienne Fields remembers the worst night of her life.
He has a gun and he's telling me, don't scream, don't scream, don't scream, or I'll kill you.
A rapist sexually assaulting her for 2 hours in her Grand Prairie apartment. She also remembers her medical exam afterwards.
I remember thinking, okay, I've just been violated and now I have to come and lay on this cold table with all of these lights from everywhere.
Adrienne waited 2 years before she heard anything about the testing of her rape kit.
It's like saying, we know that you were hurt, we know that you were raped, we know that you were molested, and thanks for coming in, but there's nothing we're going to do about it.
For victims of sexual assault, rape kit exams can be humiliating and can take years to yield results. But for police, it may be the most important piece of evidence needed to catch an attacker.
Just 10 years.
Sergeant Amy Mills is in charge of DPD's sex assault division.
That's exactly what we all in the unit live for, is to get that justice for that victim.
That justice doesn't always come so swiftly. For years, tens of thousands of rape kits have been abandoned in police department property rooms across the country.
Can you imagine going through a 4 to 6 hour exam for nothing?
Debbie Smith is a rape survivor and an advocate for rape kit testing.
To have gone through that exam and then to take that exam and put it behind a locked door is a travesty.
I have to give credit to the Dallas Police Department and the people that came before me because someone made the decision not to destroy that evidence.
Since October, about 250 rape kits are being tested in Dallas every month. Of the 4,000 rape kits backlogged in Dallas alone, DPD has seen hits on 28% of them. Though it could take months to see results from each kit once they get to the lab, it could mean the long-anticipated evidence that will finally put a victim's predator behind bars.
It's about getting those matches so that we can identify these men, because the average rapist will rape 8 to 12 times before he's caught.
The DNA from Adrian's rape kit ultimately matched to Dale Shenette, who had raped 6 other women and murdered 2 of them. Shenette was executed on Adrian's birthday.
You can move forward in life and not carry the baggage of not knowing, is that rapist still there? Is he watching you? Is he lurking around you?
Since October, the number of untested rape kits in Dallas has been cut almost in half. DPD says it's committed to bringing justice to these victims as fast as possible, even if it's one kit at a time. News 8 is using hashtag #TestTheKits this month to spread awareness about abandoned rape kits across the country. Be sure to follow News 8 on Facebook and Twitter for more information. Just use the hashtag #TestTheKits.
Next on News 8, with more rain on the way, the growing concern in North Texas, rising sewage levels. Why residents are fed up with the city's response to the ongoing problem.
Because he said to keep it secret and, you know.
And a warning tonight about a game millions of kids play every single day. How you can keep your children safe from...
And we have the hottest day of the year in the forecast and also a relief in the forecast. Stay tuned. News 8 will be right back after this.
Live from Victory Park, this is News 8 Now.
A young girl becomes a target for an online predator through the popular children's game Minecraft. 10-year-old Olivia Stribley met who she thought was a 12-year-old named Ben in a Minecraft chat room. They hit it off and exchanged phone numbers. He asked her to keep their relationship a secret. And then he started telling her he loved her and even asked her for nude photos.
Then this guy messaged me, and I didn't feel actually comfortable with that.
Todd just came in.
When Olivia's mother noticed a change in her daughter's behavior, she did her own investigating and found all the messages. The phone is now in the hands of authorities who believe Ben is a middle-aged child predator.
Dallas's fight against West Nile virus may be doing more harm than good for the environment. Mosquito spraying is killing helpful insects at an alarming rate. Conservationists will propose safer and more efficient ways to protect against West Nile to Dallas city leaders next week.
A cat on the prowl, and I don't mean your average house cat. This bobcat was spotted passing through a Garland neighborhood today. Animal Control says it's not their first bobcat case in the area. Residents are advised to stay cautious of wildlife, especially during the summer months.
With more rain on the way, efforts to fix the sewage overflow in Las Colinas are at a standstill. I spoke to local residents who are fed up with the city's failure to address the ongoing problem. The recent weather in North Texas has brought more than rainfall.
It literally had sewage floating in the water coming out over there for about 2 weeks. The smell is horrendous.
Residents in Las Colinas, like Courtney Cornice, have been dealing with a sewage overflow into Lake Carolyn. Nicole Pelchat walks by it every day.
It smells like a combination of dying grass, wet dog, and just damp mildew. Nasty. It's nasty.
The sewage overflow is not only a burden to those living nearby, the dirty water is killing fish and birds.
There'd be dead fish just popped up everywhere. I mean, everywhere you look, you can count them.
We reached out to the city of Irving to see what they were doing to fix the problem of sewage overflow into the lake, and they said they've shut down all water activity and set up a bypass system to reroute the sewage.
I know that they've been doing everything they can since they started. My question to the city would be, why did it take so long to start?
The city says the high water levels delayed work on fixing the overflow, and any additional rainfall could further delay efforts.
I get the city didn't know it's going to happen. You can't prepare for those things. But, I mean, we should have the manpower to be able to take care of that within 2 weeks.
The problem is still not resolved, and with heavy rain expected, residents could be dealing with the stink a little while longer.
Now, Megan, we're in day 5 of this heat advisory. When can people go outside and do things?
You know, I would say mainly in the morning hours, and I definitely took advantage of that cooler weather this morning. I even got my car washed, some wax, so definitely took advantage of those cooler temperatures. But let's get straight to the forecast and check out the heat advisory that's issued for majority of North Texas, all because check out that heat index. It will range between 105 degrees to 109 degrees. But today, here are your real field temperatures. Denton, you feel like 102 degrees. Fort Worth is the warm spot right now, feeling like 104 in Dallas at 103. For a majority of today, it's been very dry and quiet all across North Texas, just high clouds moving in and out throughout the area. But the reason why I want to focus on the weather pattern for the middle of next week is all due to this high pressure that will toggle just back and forth over North Texas. But then a weak summer cold front will drift through North Texas, and that will cool our temperatures slightly, and by cooler I just mean upper 90s. So we'll revamp back up to the 100s as we go back into late next week. But 30% of Texas is back into this drought. Parts of North Texas are included in this drought. But for tonight, we will see a cool 80 degrees with mostly clear skies, but again, it will be a very warm night with winds fairly calm coming out of the south, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow will be the hottest day of the year, 105 degrees. Heat index values could reach up to 110 degrees in some neighborhoods. So hopefully you'll stay hydrated tomorrow in North Texas. But check out this 7-day forecast. Here's this relief I was talking about. Upper 90s by Wednesday, all due to the summer cold front passing through. 98 Thursday, but we can cancel out the heat index because it will actually feel like 98 degrees here in North Texas. Friday, 97, just a tad bit cooler, and then we see that warming trend Saturday and Sunday and back into the triple digits by Sunday.
Well, I'm kicking myself for being so complaining so much about the cold weather in the colder months, and now we're here, triple digits again. Even that cold front isn't going to give us much relief.
I know. I am so ready for fall.
And speaking of the heat, you know, I was at the Rangers game the other day, and I could barely sit through the game. How are the players holding up?
I know, Trevor. It is very hot outside, but the heat is not affecting the players. We're coming up, we'll take a look at Cole Hamels and his debut with the Rangers. Stay with us. The Dallas Mavericks didn't sign DeAndre Jordan, but they did sign Wesley Matthews to a 4-year deal. The former Portland Trailblazer is recovering from a torn Achilles tendon, but this was a very important get for the Mavs this summer, and they are hoping for a full recovery and a great start by Matthews. Cole Hamels made his Rangers debut this past Saturday at Globe Life Park. Hamels pitched into the 8th inning, allowing 5 runs and tallying 6 strikeouts. He needed 1 more out to finish the 8th with a 3-run lead, but did not get the chance. Rangers manager Jeff Bannister called out to the bullpen to get the final 4 outs of what would have been Hamels' win. Instead, Tanner Scheppers gave up a lead without retiring a hitter, and the Rangers lost 9-7 in 11 innings to San Francisco.
And I play to win every day. And I put in the type of work that it takes to be able to win. You know, and I hope that, you know, they see that. And, you know, I know we're all human beings and, you know, not everything goes perfectly, but, you know, I don't take it lightly. I think, you know, being able to win a championship, you know, in a Texas Ranger uniform, you know, means a whole heck of a lot. And, you know, that's what I want to be a part of.
30 years ago, having a female on an NFL coaching staff was unheard of, but not anymore. The Arizona Cardinals took that chance on Jen Welter, the first female coach in the NFL. Welter was brought in as a training camp and a preseason intern, coaching inside linebackers. The Cardinals are saying their players are already benefiting from her intensity. Through just 5 practices at this year's training camp, Jerry Jones says he has never seen quarterback Tony Romo look sharper in his 13 training camps with the Cowboys. Jones said he can't remember the last time Romo looked and played any better than he does right now.
it feels much better than it did with him nursing injury like his back this time last year. So I feel good about what he's doing. I like what our plans are, what we're doing, how he's practicing, how we're practicing. All of that is real good.
College football is almost here and all eyes are on TCU. We caught up with the Frogs at Big 12 Media Day to see what their mindset is for 2015.
The TCU Horned Frogs have had quite the journey since winning the Rose Bowl and making the transition into a new conference. The Frogs are heading into their 4th year in the Big 12, coming off of a 12-1 season, ranked as one of the lead favorites in the nation.
Our motto has changed from proving wrong to proving right. So, I mean, last year coming off a 4-8 season, and they were telling us what we didn't have, what we couldn't do, and it just basically left like a bad taste in our mouth. And we knew we had the talent. I mean, all these guys that was on this 12-1 team were on the 4-8 team. We just need to make sure that our mindset and our attitude towards this whole thing doesn't change, and that we know what the main goal is.
Coach Gary Patterson has been in the business long enough to know that getting caught up in the success of a 12-1 season is not in the best interest of his team. The only thing he wants his team to focus on is what they can control, and that's winning games.
Now going into our 4th season in the Big 12, just the difference in the 2-year turnaround. Walking up here last year 4-8, changed offenses 12-1. So a year ago you had to prove people wrong. This year you have to prove people right. Our key is to control our own destiny, and the best way to do that is to try to win them all, and that's what we're going to try to get done. And then we'll see how everything else falls. So for us, we're just moving forward, recruiting-wise, football-wise, all the above, facility-wise. Things have not stopped at TCU.
Marissa Townsley, Channel 8 Sports in Dallas.
And the countdown to college football begins.
That's right, it's 20 days, right?
Yes.
You know, and all eyes may be on TCU, but my eyes are personally on SMU and with their new head coach, so I hope they give them a run for their money.
All right, well, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
That's it for News 8.
But don't forget, for more news, weather, and traffic, we're always on at WFAA.com.
Have a great night.